Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a sixth sense for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back. Just wait and you'll see. Please excuse me, your honor, but you can't hold me no longer. Can't you feel the vibrations? I broke out and left traces. Go ahead, try catch me if you can, man. You'll be looking all night, I'm the Sandman. New York, London to Japan. I'ma show the whole world who I am. Boom, boom, major look, huh? Yeah, this one is for the books. All these chances I took still. I move straight on these rooks now. Hold me up or hold me down. Have my back or hold my crown. Either you with me or not, but you better give all you got, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back. Just wait and you'll see.
Oh, checking again. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. Sorry. Apparently my my Stream Deck hotkeys weren't quite working, so there we go. So well, I guess we should do this again. So welcome everyone to the third podcast. Not podcast, we are a TalkCast. We like to differentiate a little bit. So my name is XDelicious. With us today we have BtheKing, Luis with us, and phillypaw. So thank you guys very much for joining us today. If you guys want to do a quick introduction of yourself, kind of introduce yourself to the community, we'll start with BtheKing.
Hey everybody, I'm BtheKing 27. I represent Post Office Squad. We are mainly a Call of Duty esports team. We're trying to get into the competitive scene. Apex is big for us, and also getting into Rogue Company and some other games. I've been streaming for about 6 to 8 months, seriously, and I'm looking forward to doing this TalkCast. Got a lot of great people here. I'm just honored to be here, and look forward to talking with these cool guys.
Thank you very much. We'll start with Luis, if you want to introduce yourself.
Sure, why not? My name is luisipa, not LPA, like other people try to say it. I'm a variety streamer on Twitch. I've been doing this for 3 years consistently. I'm an affiliate on Twitch, going for that partner status, I would say, in the next year or so. I love 80s music. I'm a big fan of doing a bunch of things outside my house. And I have a weekly podcast that I do every Sunday as well.
Oh, that's awesome. phillypaw, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is phillypaw. I'm a content creator for the Midwest Maniacs. I've been streaming for about 6 months, and I'm really excited to be part of this TalkCast and part of this community. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, thank you guys again for joining, and everyone in chat, thank you again for joining as well. So just as a reminder to everyone, during the interview timing, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put it in chat. Our mods will send the questions to BtheKing and myself, and we'll go ahead and get them answered. During the intermission time, we'll have our two guests able to live respond to your guys' questions. And then at the end, we'll open it up once more for a Q&A. So if you guys have any more questions, you can ask both of them at that time. So let's go ahead and get started. BtheKing, if you want to go ahead and kick this off.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to be talking with phillypaw first. He has volunteered to go first. So phillypaw, just wanted to ask you, what kind of inspired you to start streaming? It's something that's really popular right now, but what made you get into it?
So, actually, the co-founder of the Midwest Maniacs, his name's Turnt Tay. I found him on my recommendeds one day because I was just lurking and watching streams. I wasn't really streaming at the time. He inspired me to start streaming, and from then on, I reached affiliate after 8 days, after networking a lot and building a community that helped me get there. We've been growing strong, and I'm always excited to stream after work and end my day on a good note.
That's definitely the best way to do it. Yeah, we deal with a lot in the middle of the day, and being able to come home, boot up, do what we love, and hang out with people that we may not meet, in our everyday lives, and be able to have that kind of fellowship with them is always great. What are you primarily streaming at the moment?
Right now, I'm currently streaming Call of Duty, whether it's Warzone Rebirth or some other game within Modern Warfare. Or I go on to Cold War, which not a lot of people like. I tend to love it. I specifically play Hardcore Search and Destroy.
My man.
It's probably the only game mode I'm relatively better at than most game modes. But if I'm bored of Call of Duty, I'll usually find Apex or Madden 21 a little bit exciting.
Yeah, definitely. So I know you said you're mainly on Call of Duty, Warzone, and Search and Destroy. But is there another game that's like next to your heart, like right outside of Call of Duty, that you'll possibly end up playing on stream that we'll see some more?
I'll probably stream more Madden. I like going on Ultimate Team and doing the draft mode. As Madden start to get older, Ultimate Team gets harder because all the teams are 99s. So I don't usually use my team. I usually go on the draft mode and draft the team and then play with that team. I find it more exciting because it's random and it's all based around strategy.
Absolutely. I feel like that's an opportunity as well. Like, there's so many of us that do Warzone, but as far as like the sports world, like it's very competitive. But it's definitely an opportunity for us for sure. Like I could see that being something that brings in like new members to you, new followers, and a new following altogether. So that's definitely a good opportunity for you.
Yeah, when MLB The Show first came out on Xbox for the first time ever this year, I bought it and I was streaming that for a little bit, and I was getting a good following just around based off of that game. I haven't streamed in a while, but I definitely want to get back into that and doing like the career mode and everything like that as well.
Yeah, that'll probably be fun for you after like let's say a long day of Call of Duty. You just had it. You can turn on a sports game and just go to town, and there's less stress and less pressure. I feel like even though it's really competitive, but like Warzone, I think it hits us differently.
It's just those sweaty nights. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I kind of was the same way. I came from like a sports game background, and then when the pandemic happened, Warzone dropped, and one of my teammates was like, "Hey, you should get on this. It's free. We'll run some games." So I got on it, and I was like, this is meh." And then I started playing it for a little bit, and I'm addicted. So I barely play sports games anymore because of Warzone. But whenever I do, it's always like a nice little break.
I feel that.
Yeah. Alrighty. And so you did say that you're with Midwest Maniacs. So how long have you been with them, and how did you kind of get involved? I know you had mentioned Turnt Tay was kind of like the first one that you got introduced to. So how did that relationship form, and how did you end up, becoming a team member? Because going from viewer to teammate, that's pretty huge.
Yeah. So basically, around the community of Twitch, I was known as the best person who networks. So I basically found my way into Midwest Maniacs and supported all the people that were currently in it. Content creators became a new thing for them. They wanted to add more of those, basically because a lot of orgs just have content creators and they have competitive players. So this was an opportunity which I applied for. They only selected about 12 people. We're still growing, but I happened to be one of the selected people. Based off of my networking, I got to know the team, who they were, what they streamed, everything about them, and based off of that, I got accepted to be a content creator and started creating content around everything I know. It's been about almost 2 months in.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's funny how that works. Networking is definitely one of those things that's important. A lot of people forget that aspect. A lot of people are, doing follow for follow and not making the real connections, but there's something different about showing up to someone's stream, even if it's just lurking, when you've got to go off and do other things, learning what they play, learning what they're into, learning their schedule. It's those little details that like set you apart from just someone who's looking for like a follow for follow. Because like people will remember, hey, phillypaw showed up to my stream, every day for a week straight. He said hey, dropped in. Those things make a huge difference, and I'm glad that you're at least taking advantage of those things, because that's going to benefit you so much in the long run. Like, considering you've only been doing it for a little while, it seems like you've got it figured out as far as the networking aspect. It's not just, hey, follow me, adore me, worship me, see everything I do, think it's great. It's, it's deeper than that. It's, forming real connections, and that's going to be what sets you apart for sure in the long run.
What also helped me was sorry to interrupt. What also helped me was I became really good at modding and learning all the bots that revolve around Twitch. So I modded all the commands for basically 90% of MWM, as well as in my spare time, I'll go find random streamers and be like, hey, I noticed you don't have your command set up. Do you want me to mod for you? And at this point in time, I mod about 70 channels.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I think I'm busy, but you're busy.
7-0.
This guy's a wild man. I commend you on that.
Most of those, probably around 50 of those, I've set up all of their commands, and then I'll go in and touch up and re-edit them to their liking. I know a lot of people don't like, thanks for lurking, see you soon. They like it more customized to go with how their channel works. So apparently I have a lot of people that like Vikings. So
that's a big theme right now.
A lot of them revolve around Viking sayings and stuff like that. And it's really cool getting to know small streamers and random streamers. I've gotten a couple people affiliated just from rating random streamers, because that was like, they had a 2.9. I didn't know that. I rated them and they hit affiliate just from that stream, which is crazy. Like, I love helping people and all that kind of stuff.
Dude, it's one of the most satisfying things you can ever do. Especially like if you know what it feels like to try so hard for it or work for it, to be able to give somebody else like that next step that they need to elevate them, like that alone is satisfying. Even if you get nothing in return, just knowing that you help push someone over the limit so then they can achieve what they want to, that's highly satisfying. So speaking of showing up and networking, is there anything that you've encountered that you would say made things a little bit more difficult, or any kind of challenges whatsoever?
So I suffer from a lot of mental health issues, and when you let the stream get to you too much, it really affects you. So sometimes I'll take breaks, whether it's a week or so long. But every stream I have, I promote mental health. People come in, they chat with me, I chat with them back. Sometimes I'll talk with them afterwards. I definitely like to make sure people feel safe in my community and can always talk about anything. So in the future, me and my org are planning on doing a mental health support stream and donating to charities around Kansas City where the org is based out of. I thought that was a really cool idea that me and the co-founder helped create.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's one of the things. It's like, especially because it seems like you're highly integrated into a lot of streams and you mod for a lot of people. How do you find that disconnect to be able to keep them separate? Where there's phillypaw and then Philly. What's your real name? I don't think I ever got that from you, Nick. Yeah. So how do you separate the two? So then that way you can invest in the stream, invest in the community, but then still take that break. How do you do that? Because that's a hard balance for all of us. Because it seems like we're in character a lot, whether it's on Twitter, like it's hard to just like be Nick or Brian or Louis. Like, how do you separate the two?
So when I'm streaming, it's basically my time. Unless somebody has like an emergency, then I'll hop in while I'm streaming and try to make it not known that I'm doing something else while I'm streaming as well. But when I'm off stream, I'm usually jumping around in and out of channels just to make sure everything's running smoothly, banning mods or banning bots and stuff like that, or controlling the flow, making sure the streamer feels good and hyped up and stuff like that. But I mean, I have a pretty base schedule of I'll stream, and then when I'm not streaming, I'm in other people's chats. I feel it's a good balance. I haven't run into any issues yet, but I feel it definitely makes people happy when knowing that their mods are there.
Yeah, for sure.
Unfortunately for me, all of my mods, when I make them a mod, they're never in my channel. So I basically have to run my own show. I have to shout people out. I have to do all this. I mean, it's fine. It's pretty easy. When I die, I'll just do it quickly. Like it's not really a big deal, but it definitely makes it a little bit harder. But when you have all the mod skills that I have, it's really easy. I can just do it quickly and move on.
Yeah, you can probably type like shout out in like literally a quarter second, I bet, at this point. So one of the things, because like you do seem to be integrated in a lot of places, which again, I commend you. So how do you get like other people involved in your community? So how do you bring people to you to kind of get to embrace and enjoy like who you are? Because it sounds like you give so much. But how do people really get involved in your community and be a part of that?
So one of the main things about my streams is I will always communicate with chat.
That's big.
A lot of bigger streamers, it's really tough because the chat's flowing. They can't really pick and choose. Since I'm a relatively small streamer, I have about 5 to 10 people a night or when I stream. I could always chat with people. I always go back and chat. I always pick points and make sure that their questions are answered and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just feel like I have a good community, whether it's people from other communities that came into my community and stuff like that. But a way I involve viewers is if somebody wants to play, I'll go play with them. Like I don't really have a strict schedule when it comes to specific days of doing a community day. If somebody wants to play and I have a spot, so be it. I'm playing with a new person. It's great. It's exciting. It gets people more active.
Absolutely. Dude, I'm the same way. Like, I'll play with anybody. As long as I feel safe and comfortable with you. If it's on stream, as long as I know, like, you're not going to do anything to get me banned or anything that makes someone feel unsafe, I'm the same way. And I'll see streamers playing by themselves also. And, like, try not to be weird about it. Just be like, where's your teammates? Or, when's your team getting on? If they say, oh, I've got no one, like, dude, I'll run with you.
Exactly.
So it's kind of cool to be watching someone and then suddenly it's like you're playing right next to them and you're involved with them. It definitely feels cool, especially if it's someone that's been watching you for a while and then you give them that opportunity to play with you. It's game changing. It makes them feel special and accepted and wanted. They're no longer just like a number added to your viewer ticker. They're now like a friend or an associate. So that's gratifying for them.
Yeah, of course.
So I think we hit most of our key points, and luisipa, let's have a chat.
Hello, how's it going?
How's it going?
Good, good.
So you've been streaming for about 2 years, almost 3 years now at this point. So is there anything that you would say since you've become an affiliate is like your biggest success, or like a milestone marker for you? Like what's been like your biggest high so far from becoming an affiliate?
I think the biggest high I've had, I mean, having like, to be streaming actually for 3 years, going to 4 actually.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, my apologies there.
Oh, no worries. Basically, like, I like the fact that every year that I've been doing this, I've grown. Like, when I look at my analytics and see how everything's going, I've grown so much over the last 3 years. And I also like the fact that every year, like, I seem to be getting 1K followers every year. So I must be doing it right. And one thing that I like the most is that not only it's not all about followers or anything, but it's just that the people that come in and that actually interact with me and they tell me like, hey, greetings from New Zealand, greetings from Australia. Like,
That's big.
That's just like, mind blowing, because it's like, okay, so I'm basically streaming from the safety of my home here in the United States, and somebody all the way across the whole like globe is watching me in a different time zone. Like, it's just
wild.
It's just the interaction that you get from like, from so many people coming in, talking to you, is just mind blowing. And all those people that come in, they befriend you, they become friends with you. It's a blessing. I find that like, amazing.
Yeah, it's a game changer. I think gaming, aside from like food, is one of the most universal things that we all know and that we all feel and can react to. Mm-hmm. And to be able to have, kind of like you said, people from all over the world just like tuned in, like you could be making somebody's day in like Australia or South Africa or somewhere that you've never been, may never go, but you still made that impact. Like that's got to feel great.
It feels amazing.
Satisfying. This is really random, but is there anywhere that you have a viewer that you would want to actually like go to that location that they're at? Not necessarily to meet them, but like just visit.
Like if there's actually a location that I would like to travel in the future?
Yeah, like let's say if there's someone like in Chicago and you don't live in Chicago, something like that.
Well, I mean, if travel permits and the financial issues were actually solved over here, then I would actually travel to meet people. I mean, I always talk about going to TwitchCon, meeting people, or go to like a PAX East or like some big conventions and just meet up with people and just like, interact with them, talk with them. I mean, I kid you not. I mean, I used to be a quiet little person that would not talk to nobody. I would just be shy. But thanks to my friend, my best friend, which used to be my boss, he introduced me to Twitch, and he basically like, got me out of my shell. And now when I go out to like, socialize and everything, I feel more open-minded about things and just like, talk with people and converse with people.
Yeah, I think that's one of the benefits, because I think there's the stigma around gamers that we're, weird, closeted people. But I think at our core, we all want the same things as everyone else. We just may interact differently. But Twitch kind of helps to bring out our personality, like us, the person, through what we're doing. So we're still enjoying our hobby, but we're getting to interact with other people. And I think it definitely does help with social skills. Like, if I hadn't been streaming on Twitch or involved in gaming, honestly, I'd probably be extremely nervous to even be talking to you guys. And it's not that I'm like antisocial, but I think it definitely makes it a lot easier because we're constantly engaging people and talking to new people all the time. So it definitely helps us to drop our guard a lot more because we're consistently in the public eye. So that's definitely a key benefit for us for sure.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Now, is there like a crowning moment that you would say? Because you did say that you're growing year over year and you're really truly enjoying that. What's the most memorable thing that you have, or like this is as good as it gets that you've had so far? Now, we've not peaked, you've not hit your peak because you're still going to be growing. But what's the crowning moment right now for you?
I would say it was one day, I believe it was my second year on Twitch, and it was my birthday. And my friend, who's now a partnered streamer on Twitch, her name is Gingerbread Beauty. She actually hosted and rated me with over 300 people.
Oh my God.
And literally, like, everybody started chatting. The whole, like, I felt like basically I was a partner by that, because everybody was just chatting so much that I could not keep up. Like, I kid you not. And the amount of support and love that I got that day, it was just outstanding. Like, I was like, dude, I did not expect this. I expect myself to have a fun birthday with my friends and everything like that, but I did not expect a surprise from her, like, to come on more. But I think just the fact, like, one major thing that I always enjoy about streaming is what I told you earlier, is I enjoy meeting new people. I love the interaction that comes with meeting people. I mean, if you're having a boring day, hey, I mean, come by, like, tell me about your day, tell me, like, what's on your mind, and we'll, like, talk. And if you're down, I mean, I'll probably try to do something funny so that way you can laugh and you can actually smile, because my channel, basically, it's all about positivity and basically, like, genuinity and acceptance. I mean, I'm not a part of the LGBT community, but I welcome the LGBT community. I welcome anybody that comes in, as long as you have a good intention and you don't try to bring negative vibes to the channel.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's very crucial to have that safe community. That was one of the things that phillypaw had mentioned also, is making sure that everyone feels welcome, no one feels uncomfortable. Everyone gets to be who they want to be when they're spending that time with you, because they could literally spend their time anywhere else, but they choose to take that time to hang out with you, and protecting them is crucial. And I bet that 300 was probably like emotional for you. Like, I remember my first hype train, so I could only imagine what 300 people coming into your channel feels like. Like, that had to have been amazing.
If it wasn't for Twitch doing the whole DMCA thing, I would actually let you know about a clip that I had, because somebody clipped me on my face cam literally shedding tears that day because of that.
Yeah.
But
dude, I could imagine.
It was just, like, unbelievable. Like, I shed tears a lot too, like, when a lot of people come. But it's just that's just because I'm very emotional when it comes to things like this. So when it comes to, like, even one person that comes in and says, like, hey, I want to talk to you and everything like that, hey, so be it. I mean, I'll talk to you, and if I made your day, hey, that's a win for that day. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. Just the fact that you can get emotional by that definitely shows, like, the gratitude that you have for your community, which is huge. If you have a community where people, feel like you're only, seeing them as a number, then they don't stick around for long. But when you involve them and engage them and, truly appreciate them, that is game changing for sure.
Now, see, one thing that I do to actually get my followers and viewers involved is that every month.
That was the next thing I was going to ask you. That's funny.
Basically, like, I started this last month just to experiment, see how it went. And everybody has goals. Like, they have follower goal, they have sub goal, they have bits goal, like, they have all that stuff. So I told myself, okay, what's the most unique thing you can do to actually involve your viewers, like, with you? So I had to go through, like, so many research, like, through everything. I even asked my coworkers at work. I was like, hey, what's something, because they know I stream. So they're basically like they're like, oh, well, why don't you use the Cameo app? I was like, what is Cameo? I don't know what Cameo is. And literally they introduced me to that app. And I was like, oh my goodness, wait, you're telling me that I can actually book a celebrity to do a message, do a shout out, or do a birthday thing, or do, like, like a live call with the celebrities. Like, yeah, that's right. I was like, dude, you just gave me the biggest freaking idea I've ever known. So starting last month, what I did was I was just like, okay, I'm gonna go like, all on board on this. I'm gonna put a goal of 50,000 bits. Okay, so I put that there, and I was like, okay, if we reach it, we reach it. If we don't, then we can always try next month. I'm not like, one of those persons like, okay, if we don't reach it, I'm not gonna be, like, all upset. I'm gonna be happy because they still came in, supported, and everything. But I told them that, okay, we reached that goal. I'll grab the top 3 that are actually on my leaderboard. So say, for example, you be the king. I would say like, I don't know, Delicious Gaming. I mean, you're probably there, and somebody else. I mean, I don't know. I'll just make up a name. I don't know. I don't know another name off the top of my head, but I mean, okay. So you put the 3 of them there, and I send them a DM on Discord if they have Discord or Twitter, and tell them like, okay, I want you to enter this giveaway because you qualified to getting a personal shout out and message from this celebrity this month. So the 3 people that won, they qualified to get one from the original voice of Frank Woods last month.
Yeah.
So it was really cool because we reached it and we overreached it. Like, it went over the top. I didn't expect that. So I told them like, okay, one of y'all is gonna get it. And next thing you know, my follower and subscriber LSAT, his name is that's his name on Twitch. He basically got the personal shout out on Twitch, on a message on Twitter from Frank Woods himself, and I managed to edit the message so that way it says, please go follow twitch.tv LSAT or whatever. I put it in the message description, and I made the voice of Frank Woods actually say, go follow LSAT on Twitch. He actually helped reach this amazing milestone, and like, everything like that. And I basically decided to start doing that from last month to getting my community involved.
Yeah, that's genius. And that's putting them in contact with someone that they may never have had the opportunity to ever encounter. That's like next level. Like, I'm not even doing that yet. Like, that's really huge. Like, oh man, I could only imagine. Especially like, do you decide who they get the cameo from, or do they kind of decide, or do they vote as a community?
Well, right now, since it's actually my second month, I'm actually decided for them. Like, I already have a list of celebrities that I'm actually gonna choose. But I would say, like, starting on the month of January 2022, that's when I'll start asking the community, like, hey, what celebrity do you want to choose? But I'm not gonna choose like, some low celebrity or anything. Of course not. I'm gonna choose the ones that people know. Like, okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, this month right now, we actually got David Hayter doing the celebrity shout out. So everybody that loves Metal Gear is gonna be like, dude, I want to get that. I want to actually get a message from him himself. And not only does it get like, to promote their Twitch content, but I mean, also they get a small little message that I make the celebrity say that comes from me, but with their voice. So basically, so that's how I involve people. But I mean, not only that, but another thing that I do too is I basically use some of the bits gold that I get also to actually give back to the community. So what I do is one day a month, I go out and actually, instead of streaming myself, I actually go into the Twitch browser and actually look for low affiliates that have like 2 or 3 viewers. And they're like, just sitting there all upset because they can't get anything. Talk to them for a little bit, see how they're doing, see how they engage with like viewers. And then eventually I'm like, oh, but you know what? Here, let me throw you 5,000 bits just because you're like, you did this. So that's my way of giving back to the community. Like, I basically try not to keep as much of my payment that I get every month from Twitch because I like making people smile. So
definitely.
So basically, like, if we reach the goal, I always say like, hey, I'll give back to y'all. I mean, it's all coming back to y'all like one way or another.
Yeah. Do you ever like ask your community, like, is there someone that you would like the bits to go to, or do you just kind of lurk around for a little bit and then make the decision based on the activity that you're seeing from a specific streamer in that moment?
I usually go to the ones that have from one to at least 5 viewers. I usually go and say like, hey, let's go. Or if they have a friend that just became affiliate and they're basically still grinding and everything like that, and I see like, that their engagement is well, and they don't have like, strict rules like followers only and stuff like that. I look for the small details. And also one thing I look for is engagement. If I see like, that you basically like, are all about the money and everything like that, then I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude, but it's just that I don't want to go for somebody that's only there for money. I want to go for somebody that enjoys streaming in a whole.
Yeah, you can tell the difference. Those are the ones that really get into it. I think there's a lot of streamers that are looking specifically to just become famous and make it. and quit a probably good job so then they can just do it full time. But the ones that are passionate about it, I feel like you can kind of tell. Like you can see it in their gameplay and how often they engage the chat. If you see, their chat go up 20 times and there's no response, they're probably not in it for the right reasons. But being able to give back is definitely crucial. I like kind of doing the same thing, finding other streamers that may be smaller than me. Not that I'm huge or anything like that, but like someone who may have like one person in their chat, and I'll post their link in the Discord and like, hey, let's go check them out. And then all of a sudden you have 7 or 8 people extra that you didn't have there. Like that's definitely a good feeling. It feels good when that happens. And I appreciate that you do that for the community, giving back. Like it seems like you guys both are very much not self-centered or just in it for what it's going to do for you. It seems like it's truly, I'm doing these things so that I can do these things for other people, which is definitely the best mindset to have when we're doing this. It's not all about us. It's about the entire community, because there's ways that we can lift up people and make them feel better, because we don't know what people are going through. And if we can use the spotlight that we have to bring light to other people, like that's huge, man. You could save someone's life, literally.
Especially the ones that are like always like down and upset because they're not going. You want to make their day, like you want to actually make them feel like special, and it's just the joy. I get so much joy when I see that, like when I see people get surprised because they get 10 gifted subs or 1,000 bits or something like that. Like literally their reaction, I just love that. And eventually, I mean, I'm still learning how to do like the whole OBS and all the stuff, because I started with just a PS4 with nothing.
Yeah.
So basically, like, I learned the ropes and everything like that. And one thing that I love doing is that if somebody teaches me how to do something, I love helping other people learn what I learned. So that way they know how to do it, and then they can pass it on to different people. So that's one thing I love about being on Twitch for 3 years now. It's just that everybody helps each other out in one shape or form, no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like a whole community of gamers, just honestly helping each other out all the time. It's wild. I would say probably 90% of the people that are watching on Twitch are probably other content creators, whether it's once a week, twice a week, once a month. It's a whole community of people just banding together for the same interest and helping people achieve their goals and just have a really good time.
I know you mentioned that how some people actually are there for the fame, the money, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I have one of my best friends over here. He actually teaches at a local high school here. And he told me like to actually come give a speech to his classroom and let him know about like streaming and all that stuff. So I was like, wait, you asking me? Like, so I was like, okay, I don't think I can be comfortable. He's like, oh, don't worry, it's only 35 students. I was like, 35 people? No, I don't know. Like, this is just too much. So
do you think you would do easier with bigger crowds or smaller crowds?
I think I would do easier with smaller crowds. But
oh, really? Okay.
But surprisingly, when I went through that, I felt confident for some reason. Like I was like, okay, this is actually fine. Like, I'm telling them and everything. And next thing you know, they actually approached me. They shook my hand and they actually said like, oh, thanks for the advice. I didn't know that's how streaming worked and everything, because most of them, when I was talking to them and everything, they most of the time said, I want to be the next Ninja. I want to be the next Tifu. I'm like, well, let's just not get up there, like, in the clouds and everything right now. You have to start at the bottom of the ladder and climb your way up little by little, step by step.
Yeah.
So I basically brought even a projector, showed them like, my analytics and stuff. And I was like, look, this is how you have to do this. And I felt like, comfortable, and I felt happy to be able to actually get like, their mindset and actually get them in the right mind instead of like, way overthinking of things that cannot happen in one day.
Yeah, definitely. And that's one of the things too. Like, I know we were talking about goals, and having something set up every month is. Do you guys like kind of prefer to keep your goals smaller, like month over month, or like what's the plan as far as growth for you guys?
Well, for me, I started basically with a small amount. I started like at first with I would say like 20 subs and 10,000 bits. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, let's see what happens if this happens. And over a few months, I was like, okay, so it looks like, we're getting a good bit of support here. Let me jump a little bit more, see like, what happens. And of course, like I said, some of it goes back to the community. some of it, of course, like goes to help me, like, better my content, so that way people can
Right.
actually enjoy more things. And then, of course, sometimes I actually help out, like, communities over here too. Like, if they need help with something, or if they, like, need a hand with something.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like sometimes whenever you go to help someone else out, it kind of reinvigorates you, especially if you're, at a low point, which we get low points when we're streaming. But if you're like in a low point, sometimes kind of coaching someone through what they're going through, that kind of can reinvigorate what you're doing. And it's almost like the some of the best teachers are the ones that become students all over again. So if you're kind of there as someone is going through what they're going through, then you kind of go, all right, I can correct this on my own in my own stream, or like, oh, this is something that I used to do a lot that I've slacked off on or kind of escaped from. So that's definitely something that's beneficial.
I always say this: you're always going to be a student if you're actually streaming, because we're constantly learning something every day.
Yeah.
No matter what happens, like every time I go look at different channels and everything, I'm like, oh, cool. How did he do that? How did she do that?
Yeah.
Like, I want to learn how to do that. And next thing you know, I mean, when you actually start befriending them and everything, they share what they do and everything. And then basically you share with everybody else, and then everybody else can do it as well.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, I kind of agree with that also. You're constantly a student. Anybody that knows everything, they probably need to get out of what they're doing, because you're not going to grow. You're going to lose passion. And if there's always something you can improve on or always do, then you've got a reason to keep doing what you're doing and to get better, for sure.
I do want to briefly, actually, if you don't mind, personally thank a few people out there.
Yeah, definitely.
That actually has helped out. I would say my friend Jasmine Quinn, who is in the chat right now. She's actually listening to the interview. I want to thank my friend Elsat, who I actually met randomly on GTA Online, which was one of the best experiences I ever had, because I actually became friends with him, and now he's almost like a brother to me, because he's always constantly coming, hang out, and he's always supporting. I get, like, if I actually list all the people, I'm here all night. But I do want to thank all the communities that have joined over the years, and without them, I mean, I would not be where I'm at right now. I really wouldn't. So thank you, everybody that has supported my channel for this last 3 years.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad that you've even got some people in here tuning in and that you could say those thank yous. I think that we're at a good breaking point. So we're going to go to a quick little intermission, and we'll be back shortly.
Sounds good.
And during that time, chat, if you guys have any questions for any of our guests, feel free to type it in chat. I'll have the audio open, so that way if they're reading it, they'll be able to answer. And Philly, if there's any questions for you, I'll make sure that we read it out to you.
Sounds good.
All right, chat. We're going to take about a quick 5-minute intermission. So go ahead and get those questions ready. And actually, we do have a question from Amused Hobbs. This question is for the both of you guys. It says, who has been your biggest influences towards streaming and community building?
You want us to answer right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the biggest influencers I have has to be my best friend Frank, the one that introduced me to Twitch. He was my boss at GameStop, because I worked at GameStop for 1 year, and he introduced me to the platform. And ever since then, like, if it wasn't for him, I would not know what Twitch was. So he's one of the biggest influences I have right now.
Probably my biggest influencer is my family in my esports org at MWM. If I'm ever down or in the clouds or dealing with something, there's always somebody in there to talk to, always someone I could reach out to. And even when I'm streaming, there's always at least one of them in my chat supporting me. Same goes for them. I'm always in their chats supporting them, always making sure that everybody's accounted for and everything like that. We're just one big family when it comes to that. Even though I live in New Jersey and most of them live in Kansas City, it's not hard to reach out and ask for advice about anything.
Mhm.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
So we're on intermission right now, you said?
Correct. Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
We're in an intermission. I'm gonna go use the restroom.
Letting me be a part of their esports org. I also want to thank Imperial Gaming for letting me be part of their community. What we do as part of that community is every Friday, we call it Hype Night. We go off and find new streamers who just became first affiliated or retired veterans who are affiliates, and literally cause a level 5 hype train and give back to the community and make people smile, and we do it randomly. So we go out and we find random streamers and just make their night.
Dude, that's like the best feeling.
Yeah, it's great. I love being
It's-
part of that community just for that.
It's just amazing to do stuff like that. I also want to thank our amazing host right now that actually is interviewing us, and you, Be the King, as well, for having us here. It's been amazing so far. I'm really enjoying myself here. I feel really comfortable talking to y'all. And I also want to thank the communities that I'm part of. I want to thank my stream team, which is a BSG. They're actually amazing group of people, very supportive, very nice, very friendly. I would say they have amazing community nights. And I also want to thank, of course, my personal Discord, the Reef. I want to thank the Gamer Union for being amazing as well, and also our Game Lounge, which is a really awesome community as well. And to all the this is to all the positive communities that have been on, and to all the communities that I haven't been part of that are actually amazing. Thank you all for always brightening everybody's day and making everybody's day better.
Yeah, no, and
Bye.
oh, go ahead, be the king, sorry.
Yeah, I'll do a few also. So I mainly want to thank my team, also X and you two for being here with me. This is kind of like how Louis said. This is very comfortable. Like this is nice. It's calm. We're spending pieces of our evening together, and it's safe. You know, there's no hot questions. It's all just vibing, which I totally appreciate. There's a lot of streamers that have kind of let me hang out in their discords and be weird with everyone. I'm controlling myself. I'm not being too crazy right now. But in Discord, I'm a wild man usually. So anyone who's let me just kind of hang out with them, or that's hosted me, rated me, or just came in and said something dope or nice in the middle of my stream, like anyone who's been there, whether it's from day 1, day 69, day 100, anyone who's given any amount of time with me, I appreciate all of it.
Yeah, big shout out to all the communities, and especially the mods and stuff too that are actively.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
if it wasn't for the mods, we would be seeing "Wanna Become Famous" constantly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we had one of those in chat a second ago. I saw it. Wanna be famous?
Man. Now, here's the funny thing. A few days ago, I was streaming Fortnite, and I peaked at 45 viewers, and literally, I had 10 "Wanna Become Famous" back to back. Like I was like, oh no. And the worst part though is that none of my mods were there. So I was like, oh man, here we go. I was like, banhammer.
Dude,
banhammer.
I got a tip for you that not everyone uses. Put it on follower only chat. It seems like you're being exclusive, but no, like the people that want to talk to you, they'll follow you, but those bots never follow and post. It's just copy paste. So ever since I've done that, I don't have to worry about that at all.
It'll
definitely help if you're flying solo.
That's pretty bizarre because all of them follow me first and then drop.
Really?
Yeah.
I have.
I don't have follower only on. I have it open because a lot of people recommended that I should have it open just in case other people, they don't feel obligated to drop a follow before they talk.
Yeah,
that's just a little bit of my perspective on that one. But I have this bot called MooBot that because I stream on Xbox, I don't have all the stream alerts that pop up. So this MooBot tells me if people subscribed or people follow, or so I don't have to scroll up and keep looking back and forth. But it will tell me some long, bizarre, obviously bot name followed, and then we'll drop the "Wanna Be Famous," and I'm like, well, thanks for the free follow, but ban.
And another way I actually heard to put it on chat is they told me to actually grab the message that they have and put it on your private messages that nobody can send. Like, you know what I'm talking about? When you actually chat, you can't say a certain word. So they said, they said, put that whole paragraph that they say, "Want to become famous," and that'll be completely timed out.
Yep. Yeah. It's a filter that works out. It's built into chat, and it's also on multiple chat bots that you can filter that specific phrasing out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jellyfin also said you can do email verified for chat.
But see, what I do now is just so funny because I do have a mod that actually comes to the stream quite often. I usually do like the whole Home Alone expression, I say, "Oh, I'm being famous," and then just ban instantly, just to mess with them. But of course, when you get the trolls that usually go around and say like, "Oh, game or everything," I used to be sentimental when it comes to trolls, but I grew so much over the years that now basically when they tell me that, I usually tell them like, really, I'm that bad? I didn't know like, that winning victory royales was actually really bad.
Oh wow.
Or like, say like, hey, at least I got more than you, like, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when they really get like really trigger me, that I actually drop the F. That's when I get mad. But most of the time I just try to have fun, like, have fun, laugh, and be like, okay, thanks for the free follow. There's your hammer on the way out. You can see it.
Yeah, that's right. Take this, buddy. Take this with you on your way out.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to be switching it over to X now.
Yep, that is correct. So actually, that kind of transitions a little perfectly. So Philly, I'm going to start with you. So while you guys were talking, I was taking some notes. So I have 3 questions. That's kind of off what we originally talked about. So the first off question is going to be, what chatbots would you recommend for new streamers, or even streamers that don't have a chatbot currently in use? And that's for Philly.
So what I use is Nightbot and Moobot. I use Moobot mostly because I stream off Xbox. I don't have an Elgato. I don't have anything fancy. It's literally my chat is on my phone. And before Moobot, I was scrolling up and down to see if I got a new follow. And I would always be thanking them 45 minutes late. Because I never know. There's no notification for that. So having Moobot is it does cost $4.99 a month to have the chat notifications, but at that point it's like subscribing to something else for $5 a month.
Yeah, that's lunch for one day.
Yeah. So it's basically just an easy thing to just subscribe to, so I do have the chat notifications, and I definitely recommend for people who are streaming from just a console to have a bot like that. But I personally like Nightbot from all the other bots. When I go and I am creating chat commands for other people, that's what I recommend, because it's really easy to set up. You just go, you mod it, and you join the channel, and you could start doing everything right then and center. It's really easy to set up, and there's really no complications from it. The only thing is the spam protections, which a lot of people, when they're when they first sign on Nightbot, they don't turn them off, so people come in and spam emotes and immediately get timed out.
Nightbot is your biggest fan. Nightbot will block everything. He's like, no, not today.
So when I do tell them, I immediately tell them to go on spam protections, pretty much disable everything, because it's a pain in the ass.
Dude,
when I forget to tell them, that's...
I was gonna
Nightbot
say
actually blocked one of my mods once.
Oh.
Legit blocked the moderator. It was like, all right, Maximum Pain, you can sit out for a little bit. And I was like, no, he's a friendly. He's just trying to hype me up.
That's one of the main reasons why I do not use bot, because when you constantly get raided, they like to spam emotes and stuff like that. So when I had him at first I only had it for 1 day, and I saw all that, so I was like, Nightbot, you're officially terminated from my channel. Like, you no longer
It's a great bot when you disable all the spam protections.
Yeah.
If you forget to do that, it becomes a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Especially if you have Nightbot and Stream Elements and you forget to turn off the spam protections on Nightbot, it will ban Stream Elements, because when you type the commands thing, it has that link for the commands, and it will time out Stream Elements just because of that. And it's bizarre, and I've seen it happen many times. But,
so you're saying that Nightbot is basically like your judge before a court?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
you don't even get a jury with Nightbot.
Yeah,
straight to prison. No jury trial. Guilty on the spot.
I sentence you for 5 years for spamming emotes.
Yeah, how dare you hype them up?
Oh man.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, Philly. So you also spoke about some charities and stuff that you were looking at, possibly contributing to in the future. Do you know what organizations you were looking at for those specific charities?
I don't know specifics. I could ask my co-founder of MWM specifics. He said it was a smaller one based in Kansas City that he was talking to about correlating with MWM, that we could do content creator streams, so all the benefits from all of our streams would go to that charity. So it's not just one streamer doing a charity stream. It would be all of us together individually doing streams, and then all of that going to one charity.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So this one is on the original questions that I asked you, so we're just going to jump around a little bit. So you're talking about how you started streaming, and you started playing Warzone. When you're trying to figure out what game that you want to play and what kind of content that you want to put out, is there like a certain thing that you look at in terms of like, okay, well, this is the most viewed today, so I'll play this game, or is it just you play what it is that you like to have fun with?
So more recently, I was looking into more of the analytical side of what's hot at certain times. But when I first started streaming, it was more of me. What would I have the most fun with? Because if you're having fun, you might as well stream it. It was more along the lines of that. If I was going to play a game, why not stream it? And then when I got affiliate, it turned to a whole different thing where I actually went on a 67-day streak from affiliate of streaming. And it eventually caught up to me, and I got tired, and I just stopped for a week. But I thought that was a cool milestone to have of 67 straight days of streaming, which was pretty cool. But I mean, if you're having fun with it, might as well start streaming, especially because you could get paid with it, and it definitely helps upgrade if you wanted to start upgrading your technology and stuff like that, as well as giving back. I'm a huge person when it comes to giving back. Most of my Twitch payouts go to giving back to the community. I don't really take anything from it. And you could talk to pretty much everyone in my chat and everyone I know that I'm probably the very generous when it comes to giving back. But yeah.
That's a great mentality to have, because that's how you just continue to keep, just yourself in a good place, as well as your community as well, and they see that too, and you're very selfless in that thought and aspect, and in turn your community sees that energy and reciprocates it in other communities as well. So that's a huge shout out to you guys. So Luis, I'm going to ask you the same question. How do you manage your content? Like, is there something that motivates you particularly in a single day, or is it more of the analytical side, like what Philly was talking about?
Well, for me, I always play a game that I enjoy. I don't go for like, okay, this game is like, the one that most people are watching right now. I don't go for the new release games. I go for the games that actually have fun, laugh, and have a good time playing. And most of the time, I try to keep like a balance between. So, for instance, today I did a little bit of retro because I wanted to catch up on a retro game. But for the most part, I usually do, I'll say, Fortnite on Mondays and Tuesdays, and then Wednesdays I leave it to Retro Wednesdays, so that way I can actually stream retro games and bring people like to actually enjoy retro games. And I try to have like a variety of games like between the days, but mostly I play the games that I actually have fun with. Like I said, smile and have fun, because when people see that you're actually having fun playing a game and you're not just sitting there like just be like this and be like, oh yeah, I'm playing this, they don't like seeing that. If they see that, they turn away and they say, okay, this guy is boring. He's playing a game. He's bored. He's only doing this because he wants to get content out there, but he doesn't have that energy that we want to see. But if they see that you're actually having fun, laughing with your friends, playing games and stuff, hey, this guy's very chill. He's very super energetic. He's very fun to watch. Let's tune into him. Let's watch him. Let's hang out with him. So that's my main goal when it comes to streaming, is if you see me smiling, if you see me laughing and everything like that, hey, come join us. I mean, come have fun, and just don't bring anything negative like to the stream or anything, and you're welcome to play with us. I mean, I always think that community-based games are always fun as long as you're enjoying the game.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Yeah, that makes a difference.
So would you say, and this question's for both of you guys, that possibly setting up a schedule for different games that you enjoy would make it easier in terms of, that way you don't have to worry about, oh, well, I have to play this game, or, oh, I feel like, playing this game. Like setting up a schedule, like, one day you play, like retro games, and then like the next day you do like Warzone or Cold War. Do you think that helps kind of make it a little bit easier? Like when you're streaming, you don't have to stress of, oh, I have to have fun on this game, otherwise I'm not gonna have views.
I think honestly, like for me, it's not mostly about the views. I think like I said a little while ago, it's about having fun, but having a consistent schedule of what days you're streaming really helps out a lot because when people actually look at your schedule, they're, oh, I know he's gonna go live at this time. Like he's gonna play this game today. So that's one thing I am thankful for Twitch that they added the feature that when you make your schedule, you can put the games that you're actually gonna play. So like that way, when people come in, they can actually be like, oh, so Lewis is actually going to stream Fortnite at 5 p.m. today. Okay, but tomorrow he's doing a Cold War with his friends at 7 p.m. And then on Wednesday, he's doing a retro game. Interesting. Okay, well, I'll definitely tune into the Wednesday one. See, that's one thing about having a consistent schedule is, I mean, I understand, like, some people have jobs, they have, like, things to do and everything like that. But if you definitely want to grow in Twitch, you need these two most important things. Have a consistent schedule and be friendly to everybody and network with a lot of people because networking will be like your best friend when it comes to like actually being a successful streamer. Make friends with everybody that you know and actually be there for everybody. Like, talk to them, get to know them, and don't just go and hurry and be like, hey, follow my Twitch and I'll follow you back. Like BtheKing said earlier, follow for follow never works because all it is just a number when you do that. But if you actually follow somebody, make sure you actually get to know the person, talk to them, and then eventually, hey, that person might follow you back or they might raid you in the future. Who knows? I mean, and then like, you'll become friends with them and then you'll start like getting involved with them and their community. He might eventually be like, hey, you want to join my community? Come join us. We actually have plenty of room here for you to come hang out and get to know us.
Yeah, I agree.
So I agree. A schedule is a great thing to have. When I did have a 9-to-5 job, I did have a consistent schedule of when I streamed. It was usually 8 to whenever. I didn't really have a set when I ended. It really depended on the night. Sometimes I went to 3 a.m. Sometimes I got off at 12. It really depends on the day. But now, not having a 9-to-5, it is a lot harder creating a stream schedule. I do not have one currently, but I still recommend having one. My shifts are they can range from 7 to 3, 2 to 10, and then I can't really have a consistent. And it's not the same each week. It's different every week. It's really hard to schedule when I'm going to go live. So usually I'll promote myself on Twitter or some kind of other app during the day saying, hey, I'm going to be going live at this time. So basically I have a daily schedule. I don't have a weekly schedule like it is recommended to have. But I don't know. I've never had 45 viewers like Louis down here, but I do get up to about 10 sometimes. Even when one viewer, I'm still chatting with them. I'm still having a good time. Like one viewer is great. Even when I have 0 viewers, I still find myself talking to myself. I still have fun. I still stream. Like it's just exciting to just be live because sometimes when I'm playing Cold War, people will be like, "Oh, are you live? I'm gonna check you out." And then they follow me, I follow them back, and then I check them out randomly another day, and they're like, "Oh, I remember you from the other night." And that's how, like, you can network even when you're playing, and it's just really exciting that way too.
Yep.
I think one thing I learned over the years that I've been doing this is that even when you don't have nobody watching or everything like that, and you're talking to yourself, you never know who's listening. Somebody might actually come out of nowhere and be like, oh, well, you have an opinion on this gun on Call of Duty. Well, I think this gun is better or something like that. And that's how you start engaging because if they hear you talking to yourself about the game, describing the game, they might have an opinion about something. And then they might actually jump in and be like, hey, here's my take on what you're saying. Or, hey, you like this game? That's awesome. I like it too. Bam, follow you. And then you don't necessarily have to follow them back. I mean, if you want to, you can. But I mean, what I do in my channel is if you follow me, it's because you like my content. 2, you want to engage with me. And of course, if you're a streamer, of course I'm gonna check you out. But I mean, it's not gonna be instantly after one day. I mean, I'm gonna go over and everybody that I check out and everything. I eventually be like, oh, cool. Well, here, join my Discord, and then you can actually talk and interact with other streamers and post when you go live, and I'll definitely come check you out. And that's how you get involved, and that's how you build a community.
So I do follow everyone that follows me back, and then I write down their name, and then I check them out when they're live, and I go in and talk to them. That way they got to know me when they were in my stream, and then I get to know them when I'm in their stream, because when it's their stream, it's all about them, and they like to talk about them, and they like to talk about what they're playing, so I engage that way. So it's not a follow for follow. I don't promote that, but I do like to follow everyone that follows me, and then I will individually get to know that person, and then build a community that way. And then through that, I usually meet people in their chat, and then I usually join their community. And that's pretty much how I started networking. From there is I would meet people in other chats, and then so on and so forth.
Yep, intertwining the different communities by talking. Because like what you're saying, like, you know, you might play a game that the other person doesn't, but people in their chat might like the game that you're playing, so they might come over to your community, and then vice versa. So
yeah, I like to intertwine a lot of communities. I don't steal people, but I do like to get a mix of other people from other communities, and then who knows, someone in my chat from another community and someone from that community, they could become friends one day. It's just like that. That's how I look at it.
Yep.
Kind of weird like that. You have like, eventually you'll have a bunch of separate communities that kind of become like one family. There's a lot of that happens. Like I know with Post Office Squad, my team, like there's other teams that I may have connections with, and like Josh might have connections with these people, and Jordan, and then there's like this one big family aspect. Like we'll be in someone else's Discord, like having a good time, and then later on it might transition to our Discord. It's just one family. It just depends on what screen was open last in Discord where we start talking. So it's kind of cool that you guys do that also. It's pretty wild. Like eventually there's going to be just like one big Twitch family, and it's pretty wild. I'm excited to see it.
I just think it's fun when somebody goes, "Oh, how do you know that person?" And then you explain, and then like you could explain like 7 different stories about how you met this person in 7 different communities. The best feeling. And it's just like, oh, I don't remember how I met this person, and like then they'll tell you, and it's like, oh, then that's where I met this person. It's just it's like a whole thing.
Well, that's the thing about the Twitch community. It's just that everyone thinks it's like a massive world of Twitch community. No, it's actually like just this. That's what it is. Because everybody knows somebody somewhere, shape, or form. Like, oh, I know you from this person. I know you from that person. So I'm like, dude. So how did you find me? Like, you know, that's one thing I always ask. Like, you know, when people follow me on my channel, I usually always say, like, you know, how are they going? How did you find me? I always ask that. Oh, that's
a good topic starter.
So basically, like, you know, it's like, oh, well, I was on B42 community. Oh, okay, well, welcome in. Like, you know, coming in. Or somebody says, like, you know, oh, I was just browsing through Twitch streamers, and you were the only one that had a shark plush head on. Decided to check that out, or something like that. Or you'll be surprised. I mean, some people find you randomly, but one thing that I do want to address that I wish Twitch would do is, I know, like, you know, the big streamers made it, and they like basically do like that's actually their careers. Like, you know, they make Twitch and everything like that. But I wish they would actually put on the what's it called, like the list of streamers or whatever. Put the ones that have lower viewers first instead of like the ones that already made it out there. Because go on.
There's a filter for that, which I use a lot when I'm looking for people to raid.
Well, yeah. What I was saying is, like, you know, they put on the big partner streamers. They always put those. Why not put the ones that just became affiliate? Feature those, because those actually just started their Twitch journey. So why not get them involved first before, like, you know, like, I mean, honestly, for me, if I have like 30 something viewers and everything like that, I would not want the spotlight, to be honest with you. I'd rather somebody that has like 2 or 3 viewers and is doing his first affiliate stream to be before me, because those people are the ones that just started. And you'd be surprised. I mean, I encountered so many people that almost gave up because, I mean, they only had like 2 or 3 viewers, and I constantly went to the channels and told them, don't give up. up. I mean, you only been streaming for a month. You should never give up. And it's just amazing, like, to actually go to his channel, like, you know what? I know you just started. I'm gonna give you some advice. You can take it if you want. If you don't want to take it, that's on you. But I always try to advise people, like, okay, when people follow, I do that follow, like, the person back on Twitter, because I want to get to know them. I want to message them. So you get those that have like that automatic messages that said, oh, well, here's my Twitch, go follow me here or whatever. And I usually, now that Twitter has a reaction button, I usually put the thumbs down, and they actually message me, and they're like, wait, why are you actually reacting thumbs down? I'm like, why? Because you promoted your content as the first message you sent me.
Yeah, that's like a big turnoff. Like, that's like having a date and automatically expecting intercourse. Like, can we get to know each other first? Like, I want to know, like, you the person. I'd made a joke inside of Discord. I was like, man, people only know me as like the guy that sends memes. Like, I want people to know, like, Brian the person. So it's like, before you promote yourself, like, get to know the person that you're interacting with. Like, get to know them as a person. And if it happens naturally, like if it's just in conversation, like, hey, I'm going live, and they're like, oh, let me jump in your stream. Like, it's different if it's natural, but like, to inorganically force your content, like, I've never been a fan.
Let me ask you this:
like,
is this 18 plus or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
The reason why I said that is because when I do the thumbs down and they tell them, you have not networked with me yet, I want to build a friendship with you. You'd be surprised. Some people actually reply with the F-bomb. They usually say, fuck you, I'm done. And they block me. I'm like, okay.
Get that.
Yeah.
Those are the people that are in it for the wrong reasons, man. You don't want them anyways.
It's just incredible, dude, because I mean, I try to help out, but there is a positive side of this. I mean, when those people that show their link right away, I usually tell them, like, that's not how you network. And they're like, how do you network with Luis IPA? The way you network is getting to know the person, getting to know, like, what they play and all this stuff. After a few days, then you can promote your content and be like, hey, I'm actually a streamer on Twitch. I actually do this. Okay, well, I'll definitely check it out when I get a chance. Just don't spam messages saying, hey, I'm going live. Come check me out. Those are the ones that are like, oh my gosh, really? Like,
yeah. Yeah, I kind of agree with that too. There's a lot of the times, like, telling Neria about this, like, there's times I don't even put my link in a promotion like channel inside of Discord, because, like, I'd rather just, like, talk first, and then if you find out I'm a streamer, that's cool, which most people just assume anyways. But it's like, if you force it without, like, being engaged with that person or the community first, like, you definitely have to invest in getting to know the people that you're going to be communicating with. It's like just trying to show your genitalia right away, like, hey man, you trying to do this tonight or not? Like, it's like, I don't want that, man. I don't want you to force it on me. Like, I want to know you first, and then, like, if it organically happens where the relationship forms, then, like, hey, A+.
Yeah, because I mean, somebody could be like, hey, I love retro, and you can be like, hey, me too, I like this game or whatever, and the conversation starts, and then eventually you can be like, well, then I'm a Twitch streamer on Twitch for 3 years, and I play retro games. I rarely, I mean, I used to mention the word stream. I rarely do it anymore. So now we usually want to say, like, hey, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna go play this game. That's how I usually word it, because it sounds more formal, and it doesn't sound like you're desperate to try to get that person to come by.
Yeah, never be thirsty.
So the way I do it is, when I'm first entering a new stream that I've never been in, like, I found a random stream, I'll usually chat with them, and I'll wait for them to ask me, hey, do you stream? Or, hey, what games do you play? And they'll be like, oh, that's awesome. I'll shoot you a follow, and I'll check you out. And that's always cool, because you'll stream and you'll forget about it a little, and they'll pop in and you'll be like, oh, remember me? And stuff like that. But also, lost my train of thought. Never mind.
Well, if it comes back, just let us know. But yeah, no, I 100% agree, because there's a lot of people that just hop in chat and just kind of do quick self-promotion, like, right off the bat. And sometimes it turns, some of the people in chat, like, kind of off, or even the streamer too, kind of just throws them off, like, Well, hey, like, welcome. Yeah, that's a nice link. Thanks, I guess.
And then Nightbot comes in and just like kills him.
Yeah, just right over top of it, just X's them out.
I've experienced so many things, you guys, that you guys would not heard of. Like, it's incredible. I mean, I'll be willing to share that in a few moments. I know you guys have a couple questions left, so in a little bit, I'll definitely share how my channel actually came to be. If you guys okay with that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
actually,
definitely.
if you'd like to, you can go ahead and share.
Okay. So basically, when I started my channel, I was not Louis the Shark. I started with my gamer tag on PlayStation was P tier Griffin 14. I don't know if you guys
That's a
are familiar
mouthful,
with
bro.
that. So basically, that used to be my name on PlayStation. So every time I would play COD, they'll be like, "Dang it, Peter Griffin! Dang it, Griffin!" And I would do the little Peter Griffin laugh, and they'll be like, "Oh, is it really you, Peter Griffin?" I was like, "I don't know, maybe." Stuff like that, just to make them fun of them. And I basically decided, like, okay, well, I'm gonna go with the name Griffin Nation. And basically, the first month that I started, everything was well. I made one of my friends made me a logo, really awesome logo. I was really happy because I was like, dude, this is my first time actually doing this. I'm actually doing great. And everything was going well until the person that made my logo said, like, hey, it's time we upgrade your Griffin logo and make it into something better. So I was like, okay, I mean, you're my artist, so whatever you think fits best, go for it. So he shared with me a logo, and he's like, here, this is what I want. This is what I think will look awesome. So the Griffin Nation logo that he showed me was flawless. It was amazing. I was like really impressed because back then I just started, so I didn't know anything about artists and stuff like that. So I was like, dude, this is amazing. I like it. So right when I started, putting merch out, because I was like, okay, I'm an affiliate now. I can actually do merch and everything like that. So right when I did that, somebody came in my chat and told me, hey, I messaged you on Discord because there's something we need to talk about. So I was like, uh-oh. I don't like when people say that. It always gets me like in panic mode because I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I did something. So when I went looking at this message, he told me hey, the artist that made you that logo, does he know that logo is actually from a British rock band? I was like, I don't know. I mean, he told me that he made this logo from scratch. He's like, that's not from scratch. And then he sent me a link, and apparently it was actually the logo of a British band.
Oh no.
So I was like, okay. I was catching my thoughts. I was like, okay, I need to come. I was like, he's like, did you put that on any merch? I was like, I kind of did. And I was a little nervous. He's like, did you sold any of that merch? I was like, honestly, only one, but for my father. And my father wears that shirt. And he's like, I would actually cancel out all the things you have with that logo because I don't want you to get in trouble with this band. So if it wasn't for that person that saved me, who doesn't stream anymore, but I mean, I haven't seen him in forever, I would actually not be here right now.
Amazing.
And, huh?
I was saying that's amazing that that you had someone that actually was willing to go like, hey man, I have a concern, and they genuinely wanted to, help you out there.
Right. And when I went up to the guy that made that logo, he's like, no, it's for real. I made this. I was like, you sure? And then I showed him the link. And as soon as I showed him the link, he blocked me from everything.
Oof.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not cool.
So after that, I was like, okay, I need to come up with something. So over the months of being affiliate, everything was going well. I still had the old logo that I had for the Griffin Nation. And I met this guy named Hunter. I don't remember his whole name on Twitch. Really cool guy. He would come constantly to my stream because back then I would stream 7 days a week. And he would come every time I would always start, hi, how's it going? Right away. And he would always come chat and everything. And after a few months, he actually came by and he messaged me on Twitch because you can do whispers or whatever. So when he did that, he literally messaged the word saying, hey, this is Hunter's doctor, letting you know that Hunter is in the hospital because he got diagnosed with cancer. So knowing me, because I mean, I was gullible back then, I didn't know much better. I was like panicking, like I literally was shaking on my stream looking at that message. and my viewers could tell like something was. And I told them, hey guys, you guys remember Hunter? He's in the hospital. Like, he got diagnosed with cancer. And I was super nervous, like ridiculously nervous. And after like a few days, the supposed doctor messaged me on Whisper on Twitch saying like, hey, letting you know that Hunter passed away, and he basically wanted to wish you well, and he wishes you nothing but success on Twitch. Hopefully everything goes well. And literally when I saw that message, I dropped my phone out of shock, and I started crying on stream. Like literally just meltdown completely. And I told everybody, listen, I gotta go for now, but I'll be back soon. Cut the stream. Right when I did that, I literally went balls out, cry. And thankfully, I had my friend, a Coconut, who is actually a Canadian streamer, actually listened to me, was there for me. He talked to me for, I would say, at least 3 to 5 hours. I don't remember how many hours, but he talked to me. He was there for me. And he told me, like, I think what you need to do is you need to rebrand of something that's actually you, that what makes you you. I was like, well, I like the color blue. I like the ocean. And I like sharks because they're brave and they're actually, like, really awesome creatures. He's like, okay, well, I'm actually a part artist. I'm a streamer. So I can help you come out with a logo and we can see how it goes. So he built up my logo, not the logo that I have right now, but I mean, back then it was a shark logo. And I actually saw him doing it instead of like having like the other person just send me a logo and say, this is your logo. And literally, like, when he did all that, he's like, okay, we're going to rebrand your Twitch. What do you think your channel should be called? I was like, well, since it's sharks, why don't we call it the Shark Reef? He's like, okay, that sounds pretty good. I like that. So I decided to come back, and the day that I was supposed to come back, he told me, remember to always hold your sword and hold your shield up high. When people do stuff like this, it's only because they want attention, just so you know. So I came back to Twitch. Everything was good. Hunter came back. He's like, hey, letting you know, I was joking about the whole thing. I just want action to it. So knowing that I actually had my sword and shield thanks to a Coconut, I told him, like, to go F himself, that he doesn't deserve to like be on Twitch because it's not cool to make up something of that magnitude and make everybody believe that you died. And after that, ever since then, like, when I became the Shark Reef, my stream has been nothing but positivity, no negativity, and just unique and amazing people.
Dude, that's awesome. Like it sucks that you had to go through that. But it's good that you're able to now like be in a spot where you're comfortable, you're yourself now. You're not too concerned about, filling a character role. But it's nice when you get to just be yourself on camera.
Right.
Yeah, and that's never an easy thing, and I'm sure that was, very very hard for you to go through. So we're glad that you were able to, pull out of that hole that person particularly put you in. So
hey, I mean, that actually made me stronger, so I'm actually happy.
Yeah. And anyone that's in chat, just as a reminder, the stuff you do say to streamers obviously does affect them, so even if you're having a really shitty day, don't project that energy onto streamers, because like you said, they're there just for the good vibes and in turn. So they're there to bring that positivity to your whatever thing that you're going through. So just as reminder.
It's okay to actually mention stuff like that, but don't lie. Whatever you do,
exactly.
Like, don't lie and say like that basically like you made this all up because of attention and stuff like that. That hurts a lot.
Yeah.
Like Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that story. I know that probably wasn't easy to go through, talking down that memory. So definitely appreciate you sharing that through.
It wasn't like much of like the story that I wanted to share, but it's just that I figured like that since we're actually having a podcast here, that viewers should actually understand that streamers have feelings. And whenever you say something negative to them, it could really affect them. And I've seen, now I haven't seen, but I mean, I heard stories about streamers literally go and like when they hear that the viewers say like, you suck, you're horrible at this game and everything like that, they go out and stop streaming and they do something that they regret doing. You don't want to bring that to the streamers because some of them might actually have like a deep depression. Some of them might have like some sort of like a condition. Don't bring that to them. Like try to like be there for them. Bring positive vibes to those streamers, and you'll see like that the streamer will return the favor and be like a happy content creator for you and for everybody else.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And that's part of the the whole community thing that you build too. So, if you're true with yourself, your community will be true with you. Unfortunately, you still get those bad eggs every now and then, but that's where your positivity will hopefully turn them around in terms of, like I said, if they're having that bad day, week, or month, that's where your energy kind of brings them back. So
absolutely.
So let's see.
Yeah, I agree. I'm kind of in the same boat too. Like, we forget the human aspect of it. There's a thing that I have like in Nightbot, and I say it all the time as a joke to my guys. Like, sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail, and there's times that like we'll get super competitive into a game, and like we'll get upset, and we have to realize that when we're like playing these games that like we're interacting with actual real people, like in the battle royales and the multiplayers, and so if we're toxic, like we're affecting those people. So that's something we, even as content creators, have to do as well, because sometimes people will feed off it. What happened to you absolutely was like not your fault. That was just some guy being weird and just being inconsiderate of your feelings. But sometimes we can affect someone's day negatively with what we do on stream too. And so I try to remember that too. Like I've gotten better at kind of censoring some of the things that I do and the things that I say, just because I don't want to do anything that makes anyone in chat feel uncomfortable or that welcomes that negative behavior. And so I've been pretty fortunate. We've had like one or two weirdos, I would say, in our community, like between the different streamers. But for the most part, if you can maintain the positivity and a good environment, then usually they flush themselves out. Like they know they don't fit in there, and they can try to troll, and it becomes ineffective, and they just eventually just leave.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that Hunter kid has at least learned from his behaviors and goes on to be better later in life, because like if he continues to be that way, he's going to have no one, and when he's got no one, he's going to be affected by loneliness because he's kind of cast out the rest of the world. So I really hope that he's doing better now and has kind of gotten the opportunity to learn from it all.
I do tell you this, that one thing I do in my channel too is that even if you hurt my feelings back then, I will still accept you and actually accept your apology for everything you do.
Yeah.
And I would actually still welcome you. I mean, that's just part of me. I mean, if somebody does something bad to me, I still welcome them back no matter what.
Yeah. That's how it should be. That's a good human quality, period, is being able to forgive. I've had some falling outs with people, whether I was at fault or they were at fault, but as long as both parties are willing to reconcile, then it can absolutely happen. And as long as you're genuine with it, like I'll absolutely take anyone back, and you just being able to welcome someone back is a good quality.
Yeah, 100% agreed. And being able to work through it, amicably together, that's the biggest piece.
Absolutely.
So, switching a little bit for both you guys, you both talked about, being, console streamers and PC streamers too. What would you describe your experience with either Streamlabs or OBS? And what features do you guys prefer to those two?
Oh boy, you want to go first, Philly?
I can't because I don't use them.
Okay.
I can take your spot. So I'm kind of new to OBS. Well, actually, you can go first, Lewis.
I'll let you take the spotlight, my dude.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I've been pretty fortunate. I've been kind of learning as I go. I'm still like an infant to OBS. Like I was doing the console thing and using like the PC or like a portable device, kind of like you are, to keep up with chat. And I found that like there is sometimes a delay, or my mobile device would just completely disconnect altogether. But if you get with like someone who's like able to tell you like, hey, this is how I did this, it works out pretty well. I use OBS personally, and I've had zero issues aside from me trying to figure out how to set it up. But I'm a bot with those kind of things, anyways. I would personally recommend OBS. I know a lot of people use like Streamlabs, and it appears to be very clean also. But personally, OBS, 100% success rate so far.
Well, I mean, I started with my PS4 only, kind of build it with your Xbox. That's how I started. No camera, no nothing. Believe it or not, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the PS4, but apparently you can have a voice bot that actually reads your messages.
Oh, it's funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious when people would spam the heck out of that thing.
Oh yeah.
So I loved that for a while. Like eventually they started calling it a name like, oh, where's Suzanne at? Where's John at? I'm like, oh, dude,
Alexa.
they're sleeping right now, so they're not gonna be here for a while. They're like, oh, come on, put her back. I'm like, fine, I'll put her back in the next stream.
Yeah,
I'll put her back. But I moved on from just my PS4. But this is actually thanks to my good buddy Canadian. He actually has changed his name so many times, but I'm gonna go by his actual name now. Crypto Canadian. That's what he goes by now. So he introduced me to PlayStation Remote Play. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that.
Yeah.
So basically, like, I was fortunate enough that my neighbor decided to give me an Alienware tower so I can actually stream. And literally, I was lost. I was like, okay, I don't know how to set all this. I'm confused. Please help somebody. And thankfully, my buddy Frank, the one that I worked with, he's like, hey, I know this guy. He's like really techie. He's really big techie. Go check him out. He'll help you out. So he helped me set up PS4 Remote Play with my PC. Of course, back then I had like I call it potato internet, I would say, because it was like just 5 megabytes download and like 1 megabyte upload. So it was just horrible. I was like, man, this is just a mess. And I could see in my streams that it was just even below 560p, it was like 420p or 360. I was like, my lord, this is just too terrible. Like, I don't like stuff like that. So when I went with Remote Play, he showed me how to upgrade like the graphics and everything, and it turned out well. But I mean, of course, you get those good things, and then you get the bad things when it actually disconnects, and you have to reconnect again. Oh my gosh, that's just a pain. But I learned a lot. I'm sorry?
Oh, sorry. I was saying troubleshooting on the fly, always fun.
Oh, you gotta love those. But anyways, I mean, I started with Remote, and then eventually, just recently, actually, I made the switch to Elgato Capture HD60S with OBS Studio. And I gotta say, like, the whole transition from Remote Play with no capture card to a graphics card, it's a whole different level. Like, it's outstanding. It's amazing what you can do. And especially, of course, it helps that now I have fiber internet. So basically, like, everything is just instant, like completely instant. So now my content is like from 720p 60 frames to 1080 60 frames. It's just insanely ridiculous. But I want to thank all the communities that I'm actually part of, because of them, we were able to get the capture card, get all this stuff. And I'm still not done yet. I mean, I still have more things to actually improve on. I mean, I just recently got all this, but there's always room for improvement when you actually stream it.
Absolutely. You got to always be a student. Like the moment you think you've learned it all, quit, because you're never going to improve. You're gonna get comfortable, and then eventually you'll be set, because you would think that you peaked, and other people are continuing to grow.
I like the fact that every time I go to my friend and tell them like, hey, oh well, here I learned this now. I'm like, dude, you're always one step ahead of me. How do you do that? Like, how do you do that? And he always has the patience to like literally help me out and say like, okay, Louis, I'm gonna show you how to do this. And I love learning that. I mean, thanks to him, thanks to Tragic 106, there's so many people that have helped me set up my channel like the way it is now. Like now, apparently, people love using GIF sound alerts of like the saxophone guy, the Rick roll, like stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, I was not aware of stuff. thanks to Jigsaw for that. I mean, he basically showed me how to do that. It's just amazing how many things you can learn from different people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 100% agree.
And of course, when Philly decides to transfer and start doing like the whole with alerts and everything like that, I actually offer my help. If you willing to take help, I'm definitely 100% willing to help you set up your alerts and all this stuff.
It's funny because I have them all set up in OBS, but I can't use them.
Gotcha.
I can't.
So you're gonna be
Can't
one
use
step
them.
ahead. Once you get the equipment, like that's it. It's over. You're gonna have the advantage of having a banger stream right away. Like with me, I kind of work on it like a little bit at a time because I'm definitely not like the graphics video guy of our group. I'm very much like just, hey, this is what we're going to be doing today. We're focusing on this and this and this. My brother Jordan is more of like the graphics, and he can make everything look clean and crispy, but he works all the time. So I do it like step by step. He helps me whenever he can, but like mine is kind of bare bones if you look at mine. So I'll have to get to Louis' level at some point where I've got like the sound alerts and everything. But right now it's like camera, cute stuff a little bit, and then the game.
hey, I mean, I'm gonna say it out there to everybody listening. If you ever need help setting up stuff, hey, by all means, come by the channel, come join the Discord, or join everybody here in the TalkCast on their Discord as well. I'm there as well, and you can always reach me out. I don't care what time it is. I'll be awake at some point. I'll be like, okay, I'm awake. I mean, if somebody is crucially in need of help, I'll be there to help out as much as I can. But of course, if I'm in a deep sleep, then yeah, I'll be like, okay, I'm sleeping. I need sleep.
You gotta rest.
But I mean, most of the time, I usually try to keep an eye on everything and see, like, if anybody needs help. Because I mean, it's nice to help out somebody that needs help, no matter who they are.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree. So Philly, as a console streamer, what are some of like the pros and cons of console streaming that you've gone through so far? I mean, obviously the alerts. I know you just said, but what are some of the things that you like and dislike about it?
I'm gonna start with the cons. So what's very weird with Xbox is I now have my controller plugged in directly to my Xbox. But when I was doing it wirelessly with the batteries, every time my batteries died, my stream would end. Every time the audio from the headphones disconnected, the stream would end. Like,
oh wow!
Oh
yeah.
man!
Anytime, it was just like right when I saw low batteries, I'm just like, well, I have 13 people watching, but my stream's gonna end, and I have to restart it, and I'm never gonna have 13 again because it like I would get rated, and then I would have low batteries, and I was like, well, there goes that. So now that I have my controller plugged in, it's fine, but every once in a while it disconnects, and then my stream ends, and I'm like, why did my stream end? And I see that like the wire hanging below, and I'm like, oh, my controller's disconnected.
It's almost like the wire's trolling you.
Yeah. The pros, probably it's kind of like a PC where everything's just built in, where I could just go to the Twitch app, start broadcast. My chat's on my phone, so that's a little. I mean, like I have to look down, but I could see it move, so I always know when somebody's chatting. Rather than having it on a dual set monitor setup, which I will have eventually when I decide to upgrade. But the success I've had just from a console like shows people like you should start streaming now, because like I don't know how I got to the point to where I am now, whether it's the networking I've done or the right choices I've made, but I'm doing pretty well to be streaming off a console. So that's what there's probably more cons than pros, but I've reached where I'm at right now, and the moment I upgrade, I just know I'm gonna take off. So there's that.
Yeah. One of the pros that I had also, like when you have to use a capture card on the PS4, if you have a wired headset like this, say goodbye to that. Like that's the thing that I miss the most about just like turning on the PlayStation and going live is I can use the headset that I like to use, but I have a completely different headset just for stream because I have to be wired and like I'm tripping over cords all the time if I'm streaming instead of just like controller, headset, screen. that simplicity is like it's a blessing. There's times that I think about just like I'm just gonna stream directly from the PS4. That way I have no cords and I'm not gonna just like rip my microphone out of the computer. But like having the alerts and everything are definitely worth it. Like that's one neat thing. But once you do go from Xbox to streaming through the PC, you're gonna have like a chat link. So definitely have those batteries ready.
Yeah, if I'm gonna upgrade, it'll probably go to a gaming PC.
There you go. That's
playing
the way.
controller. Yeah, if I'm gonna spend money, why would I buy a streaming one? Especially because I would have to upgrade my Xbox in the next gen. Might as well just spend all the money and get a gaming PC and go that route.
Yeah, and it's future proof.
Yeah,
absolutely. For me, I would say negative things. I mean, I know I said I had to say like I may have like a really awesome internet, but sometimes you get those random hiccups of disconnecting. And that's when I really hit the panic mode. But I'm like, okay, relax. It's only a little hiccup. It's going to go away soon. But sometimes you'll be surprised. You may have really good internet, but then it may disconnect for hours. And that's when you really have to hit the panic button and be like, okay, I don't know what to do. But usually when things like that happen, I usually message the chat and let them know like, hey, something's wrong with my internet. I'll be back tomorrow. I mean, I hope you guys have a good one, and then basically host somebody else that's actually streaming right now. I usually do stuff like that, but ever since I transitioned to the capture card, I've had a couple of issues at first because I didn't know how to use it. But thankfully, like I said, I have a group of friends that were able to help me, guide me through, and they basically showed me how to use the capture card wisely, what to actually stream on, depending on my internet. And it's fun. It's really a good thing, but of course it has the bad things. So
yeah, staying calm in those situations
knock on wood.
Help. But yeah, definitely knocking on wood because sometimes the internet just like cuts in and out. Like even right now, while we were just doing this podcast, we had a lag spike that hit us. So it's keeping your cool through it so it doesn't throw off your game, because there are times when like you get huge lag spikes and you're just like, what is going on? And then like mid what is happening, like your stream comes back on and you're just like, oh, hello chat, welcome back.
Yeah.
Please don't mind the stuff that's happening in the background, like you know what I mean. So yeah. Keeping cool head sometimes helps. And so for example, like I work IT, and one of the biggest things that I tell anyone, the 3 things that'll ever upset me is batteries dying on a controller, for one, teammates AFKing, and lag. That is
lag is the big one for me.
The biggest things that'll ever do it.
Mm-hmm.
I've had like minor, like I wouldn't say quite a freak out, but the most frustrated you'll ever see me on stream is when I first moved to this current house. We didn't have like the hardwired internet and everything going, so I was playing off of Wi-Fi, and it was so frustrating. Like I was getting like legit mad, and trying to mask it on stream. It's like smile on the outside, but like anger on the inside. And there's times it got out, and I was just like, I can lose to a player, and I have no problem losing to a player. But when you lose because you lagged, that's the hardest pill to swallow, especially if you're competitive.
Yeah, you're fighting them, and all of a sudden they're behind you. You're like, how did you were 300 yards away? I don't even know how that's possible, but okay.
Yeah, how am I dead now?
And one thing that really, I mean, it's not related to lag or anything like that, but it's really streaming. One thing that really upsets me, I mean, that literally makes me cry in the inside, is when you're actually about to end your stream and then somebody raids you. That's like the worst.
Yeah, you have to keep going. You can't stop.
I usually make myself stay on for another hour, and then you get raided again, and it's just like, nope, we're pulling this raid, we're raiding someone else. Like, I can't do it. I'm done.
Man, that's like the worst. It's like, I was just about to end. Where?
I'll have it sometimes where I'll raid off, and then I'll like go back to look at my dashboard, and I'll see that somebody else raided me as I was raiding someone else, and I'm just like, oh my god! I like go thank them, and I'm like, you raided at like the worst time.
Well, I have a quick little story about raiding that happened a few months ago. So I was raiding one of my buddies, and I had his channel on lurk, but I mean, I didn't see what he was doing and stuff. I just had the tab open. And when I was raiding him, right when I hit the raid button, like right when you hit enter, so that way the raid goes to the person, we simultaneously rated each other. So,
Oh wow!
so I don't know
what
what
did Twitch
happened.
end up happening? Like,
So-
what happened in that situation?
So right when that situation happened, we got the streamers in another castle thing. So my friend showed me that. He's like, dude, this happened right when we raided each other. So he showed the whole castle thing that they have when there's no channel or whatever. So I was like, that's odd. I do have a channel and you do have a channel. So what's going on? He's like, maybe our connection is kind of like intertwined with each other. So that was just too funny though, because I mean, literally raided each other at the same time, at the same sequence, which is crazy.
Yeah, the odds of that are happening are just so minuscule. It's just like, and surprise to both of you.
Or also, don't forget about those when you raid those people that you don't know, like they're streaming, but you don't know what time they're gonna finish, and then when you raid them, those are like the pain to actually watch because like, dude, I just raided you and you were offline, like you just went offline.
Yeah.
Yeah. But some people I noticed that when they try my stream, they get confused with my name because they see the IPA part and they think that's an L because it does look like
I
an
thought
L.
it was an L. I'm not gonna lie, man.
So I kid you not, like they're like Louis LPA. I'm like, no, it's IPA. It's just that Twitch wants to capital the I. I don't know why. So basically, like they're like, oh, okay, so nice to meet you and everything. One of my friends tried to raid me, but they put Louis LPA, and then like they came to my stream and they're like, hey, did you get my raid? I was like, raid? You raided me? He's like, yeah, I raided you. I was like, wait, how did you spell my name? And she showed me Louis LPA. I was like, bruh, no, Louis IPA. I'm sorry, but it's Louis IPA, not LPA.
Louis LPA is probably a partner right now with all the raids they're getting.
You're right.
He stole your success.
Oh man, but it's just fun to see that stuff like that.
Is there a certain type of IPA that you enjoy?
Well, believe it or not, I've only seen IPA kegs, but I have not tried them. IPA actually is part of my last name. That's where that came from.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it just stick like that. I mean, after the Griffin Nation, after Peter, I was Louis IPA 07, and then recently, I think when I started on January, I was praying that nobody had taken Louis IPA, and when I changed my name and nobody had taken it, I was like, thank goodness, finally a name without a number, because you know how some people they want to have a name but they don't want to have numbers because it just looks weird, a little weird. So I figured, like, let me just go with Louis IPA. I was fortunate enough that nobody had taken Louis IPA.
Yeah, my original name was Philly Fan 1995, and it was so long, and I ended up shortening it to phillypaw because paw is how you pronounce my last name, even though it's not spelt like that. But I wanted something that was short, simple, but would also relate to me. I wanted to keep Philly in there because everyone on Twitch knows me as Philly. Which I thought is pretty cool. And sometimes people will even like call me like in real life, and they'll call me Philly, even though my name's Nick. It's just funny. But yeah, I wanted to keep it short and simple, but I also like without the numbers exactly. And I can't take Philly because the name Philly is a partner, but they haven't streamed in the last 2 months, which is kind of infuriating. Yeah, that's how my name came
that's
about.
one thing that I wish Twitch would actually do. If a partner streamer hasn't streamed in months, or years or something like that, let the name be available for somebody, because it's fair that they take that spot after so many months and they haven't produced content or anything. Like that would be.
I'm still trying to get my name on Twitch. I have an underscore in my name that's not anywhere else except for on Twitch, but there's like a BtheKing 27 with no profile picture, and I check on them like every week or so to see if I can get the name. Like they're not.
Have you tried messaging them?
I have not. I should be like, hey dog, your time is up.
Like, hey, I'll offer you something like in exchange for your name.
Yeah,
if you change yours, can I take it?
Yeah, no body pics though, of course.
And believe it or not, BtheKing, the name that you call. So thank you for that, because that's what every time I go to people's channels and everything, I'm like, hello, Louis IPA, LPA, IPA. I'm like, just call me Louis. If you can't say it, just call me Louis. Louis is the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, if I can't pronounce people's names that follow me, I'll usually pick a name that's in their name, and that's what I name them. Yep.
Yeah.
And they're fine with it, like usually. But it's like if it's some long name, I'll find a word and I'll be like, "That's your new name. That's what I'm gonna call you."
Yeah.
Like, you okay with that? All
It
right,
just
cool.
sticks.
Wait till you start getting the people, because I have this thing on my channel. I don't know if you heard that actually says like it does like a little sparkle, and then it says it's BtheKing 27 or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's one little feature that one of my friends helped me with, and he basically told me that you can do sounds, so that way you can say welcome or like whatever sounds you want to put. So whenever I get those want to become famous, there was one that actually it said sparkles, and then it said it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I was like, damn, what a name. I was like, dude, no. So when you start getting those number names, you better be careful. Those numbers are huge.
Yeah.
It's like, welcome to the channel, 43524 toe pics only.
Yeah.
It's like, thanks. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta mix it up with them and just say, "What's up, toe pics? How you doing?"
Oh my god.
I usually call them barcodes. I'm like, "How you doing, barcode?"
Oh god.
But
47.
I made a mistake one day of doing that. Actually, I actually said welcome, barcode. How you doing? He's like, I'm actually a real person. And then I was like, oh really? That's nice to know. Like I was just being sarcastic. And then I clicked their name, and they actually had over 1,000 followers and stuff. So oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were an actual real person.
They're really Agent 47.
It's bad when you actually say that, because dude, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were actually a person. I thought you were a bot at first. Oh man.
Do you guys have any more questions for me? I actually have some stuff I need to get done, but if you have any questions, I could answer them real quick.
Yep. This is the last question, and we'll open up for Q&A. So, Philly, this one is for you. Any advice for someone that is looking to become a mod, and any tips or tricks that you have for someone that's starting out new, since you mod for 70 channels?
Go out and learn the bots. The main 3 bots are probably Nightbot, Stream Elements, Streamlabs. There's different ways to add commands. Knowing the difference between each one, like for Nightbot, it's !commands add. For Stream Elements, it's !command add. For Streamlabs, it's like add command, !add command, and then you type whatever. But learning that is really good for saying like, hey, I want to create your commands, and then you check what bot they have, and then you know how to do it. So it's not like you look dumb trying to do stuff. But definitely do some knowledge base on the bots, especially if you want to recommend a bot to someone. You could recommend why this one's better than the others. Stream Elements is better than Nightbot because it has its own watch time built in, where Nightbot doesn't have a watch time because it doesn't track that information, sadly. But Moobot does it for free.
I believe Wisebot does it too.
Wisebot does it as well.
Wisebot's a good one.
But make sure if you're going to be a mod for someone to be there more than you would be in another person's stream, because they're making you their mod, especially if you're their only mod, because you pretty much run the show when it comes to timing people out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the only advice I have for that.
Well, awesome. Well, I want to thank all 3 of you for your time. This has definitely been amazing to get to know you guys, and for you guys to open up kind of like your lives to us and to everyone in chat. So if you guys have anything else that you guys want to talk about, I will open up the floor to you guys.
All right. So I do have a suggestion to make to Twitch. It's a big one. So we all know how it's related to mods, because I know you guys were talking about mods. If Twitch would allow people that actually are in mod view and they're actually mods and watching your stream constantly, come in be a mod, watch over your channel, give them some compensation. Like give them like, I don't know, like pay them something. Like, give them something. Because for me, I mean, I'm a big partner streamer or anything like that. But the moment I decide to actually take this and be full-time and actually are able to afford my bills, I'm able to have extra to give to the community, of course I'm going to pay my mods. There's no questions about that. I will pay them to actually come watch my channel because they're taking time off their day to actually watch my stream constantly for bad people and negative people. So of course I'm going to pay them to actually watch out for trolls or watch out for negativity, because the mods are what actually help the streamer be a successful one, because they watch over the stream and they help you out the most.
So the only bad thing about that idea, not to say you have a bad idea, because I think it's a great idea, but I also think that it should be by the creator is the one that should pays the mods. The only bad thing about that is I have probably 10 mods on my channel. Mm-hmm. Whether they come to my channel or not, that's up to them. Mm-hmm. The only thing about that is if they start paying mods, random people are going to start getting paid because I made them a mod, even though they're not there.
Yep.
So maybe like correlating in analytic watch time to see if the mods are actually there and communicating. Right. That would be a good addition to Twitch. But I like it how the creator pays the mods because they know what they're doing. You pay them based on if they're actually there and stuff like that.
And like TalkCast said over here, mods are done some because they are actually the ones that actually are mods are actually watching over your channel. I do agree. I do agree with like the streamer should pay, but that's why I said that I'm not to the point that I can actually make this full time for me. But once I get to become full time, content creator, and have enough of, like I said, I will pay my mods because they're watching over my channel. But I mean, I just wish Twitch would do give something as compensation. Like, okay, give them to that person's channel because they are watching over his channel, so they don't have to watch ads or something like that. Some little perk for being a mod.
mean, there's a thing called Twitch RPG, which is they'll email you surveys and you'll be gifted bits based off the way you answer surveys. There may be something like that where they gift them bits or something for moderating instead of gaining channel points for being there. They would get bits for being there.
Or even a free subscription, an additional Prime or something
like a tier 3
to that creator gets.
Streamer.
Exactly. Yeah. So that way they don't have to worry about watching ads.
I know when you're a partner, you can gift up to 2 bots a tier 3, so they're always so you could add your emotes to them, and then you could gift a certain number of particular people a tier 3 for lifetime. But that's partner stuff, not just affiliate stuff. When you're affiliated, you get perks, but it's not like partner perks.
Yeah,
also,
stuff like that.
The last thing I'm gonna add is Twitch. Please settle an agreement with the MCA, please, because I miss playing my Spotify playlist on my streams. I miss singing to my viewers because before, you'd be surprised, I would actually be singing anime intro Japanese songs to my viewers, and I would have a redemption that said karaoke time, and I would literally stop what I'm doing if somebody redeemed that and literally sing the opening of my favorite anime for them.
Creators might not like this idea, but what if Twitch came out with a subscription for DC May instead of people getting their VODs muted? What if people paid $5 a month to be able to play music and stuff like that? Therefore, Twitch would gain money from the subscriptions and stuff like that, rather than just muting people's mods or VODs.
But believe it or not, did you guys know that some of the music that Twitch incorporated in their whole non-copyrighted music that they have playlist? Did you guys know that some of the songs actually give you copyright strikes?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
That's what's really scary. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
like you basically show us this playlist and you have some songs that are copyrighted. Like, what's going on here?
It's funny.
Sometimes I honestly think Twitch is actually handled by, I don't know, like some I don't know what best way to describe it. Like, I don't know, like some, I don't know,
Like
some
a music
people that,
label.
no, I'm just saying, like, you know, basically, like, you know, not run right. They need to fix that stuff. Like, they need to fix so many things. I mean, let me sorry I keep talking. It's just that I really wish I could address this more often. But it's just that, huh?
They'll address everything when Activision gets an anti-cheat.
I think some of it is like a corporate disconnect. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever worked for a corporation before, but like if you've been one of those frontline people and you see what it's like every day, and then corporate's like, hey, we're gonna run it this way, and you're just like, no, that doesn't work. Because you're in it and you know what it's like. It's probably the same way.
That's why
You
it's
probably
cool.
have some.
That's why it's like cool for like Nike employees or like McDonald's. They'll hire up with people. Like, in order to become a franchisee at McDonald's, you have to have worked in the restaurant and handled every position before you could become a franchisee. Therefore, you know how everything works while owning a building and running its own thing. A lot of more corporations to do that. Because then more people on the front line know how things work and they could add ideas to corporate and they would actually listen because they work in corporate now. A lot of businesses don't run like that, Twitch being one of them. They won't listen to viewers. Even if they put polls out there, they're still going to go with whatever they think is right. That's just the way it's going to work, and we can't do anything about it.
And see, that's one thing that frustrates me about Twitch is a bunch of favoritism. They need to stop that, because one partner streamer may get one affiliate streamer may get banned for a whole month because they had music in the background playing or whatever. While a partner streamer, if they do that, let me just give him a slap to the, and that's all they get.
Well, some partner streamers get the artist permission. Like Nick Merckx got Drake's permission to play his music, and he only plays Drake's music now. Because he got Drake's permission to play music, and Twitch can't do anything about it.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, you know, I wish Twitch would actually treat everybody fairly, not just because you're a big streamer, you're gonna get away with something that an affiliate streamer gets in trouble for. Like, everybody should be.
It's all about money with them right now, especially with when COVID hit. They made bank.
Oh yeah.
Because people started going live and streaming and getting affiliate, and Twitch gets 50% of that, which is crazy because Facebook just announced that they're taking 0% out of content creators, which is wild.
And did you guys see that a partner streamer actually Twitch, what is your next move? And actually like incorporate that Facebook thing about $5 completely to the streamer. And they said, like, you know, Twitch, this is your move to make. What are you going to do about this? So if they don't do anything about it, don't be surprised if a lot of the big streamers move to Facebook gaming.
I already know a ton of people that already moved to Facebook. And they were like growing on Twitch, and they just moved over to Facebook and totally canceled out Twitch just because of the income base.
Me, I'm still going to stick here just because I grew with a community and I love the people that I've met so far. So I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
There would have to be like a moral thing that would take me away also. Like, it would have to be huge. Like, I don't completely agree with this at all. Kind of thing to take me away from it. But other than that, kind of like I'm in the same boat. Like, I've got the people around me and, you know, I kind of enjoy it here and I'm comfortable here. And there's always that opportunity if people leave to go to Facebook gaming, someone has to fill those roles. You know, so opportunity, you have to be opportunistic.
I know, I 100% agree. Yeah, because you get mass excess leaving one way, well, then that just means that's more chances for your channel to get, you know, vision on, and, you know, you be able to continue to grow. So
yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I hate watching Facebook gaming. I cannot do it.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, and all the ads are like clickbaity. I'm not for that. Like they'll be like, "Oh, watch this person," and it's always like the most stereotypical, like clickbaity, fake hype nonsense. So many hackers. Like I can't get involved with that. Like I like what Twitch has, like the format of people being able to make the money or build a community. But there's definitely some flaws for sure. But the Facebook gaming, it just doesn't appeal to me personally. And sometimes like it's just that simple. If something just doesn't appeal, even if it looks better on paper, I'm gonna stick with what seems to be the best for me.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, we'll open it again to anyone in chat if you guys have any questions for our honored guests or even our hosts. And then if there are no questions, then I just want to preemptively thank you guys very much for all your guys' time. It was awesome to get to know you guys and be able to chat with you, and for all the insight that every single thing that one of you have brought to this. So thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks for taking your time and having us.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, Brian just stole the words out of my mouth.
Twins.
Well, I want to thank everybody, especially XDelicious, phillypaw, BtheKing, your amazing mod Neria, Amuse Hobbs, everybody that came in today, Jasmine. I know all those you listening out there. If you do listen to the previous spot here, definitely worth checking out. I'll definitely be back here next time you guys do a podcast here as well, because I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot from this. It's actually amazing. And I want to say that I'm glad to have met all of y'all. Like I really am.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah, I definitely look forward to kind of growing with you guys, because this is something I've not done with anyone else before, in this kind of a format. So we're losing our podcast virginity together. So this is a special moment.
Pop that cherry and just just get going together. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've got to pop into Louis streams a few times. I'm not really got to watch 100%, but like he's always active, so I'm in there lurking, and I look forward to seeing both of you guys like all the time. Being able to pop in there, say hi, and just check you guys out. Like I can't wait.
For sure. Yeah, I can't wait to watch you two games. It's gonna be exciting. You'll know exactly who I am.
Yeah, exactly. Louis and I, we're gonna have to do some Call of Duty, and same with you, Philly.
Yeah,
you guys can carry me to a dub.
I think you're gonna be the one that's gonna carry me. Honestly,
you'll carry us, and then we'll watch you rage if we get second.
There you go.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you again for joining today's session. Like I said, I don't see any questions in chat. So again, thanks everyone for their time, for getting to know you guys, and for getting to hang out. So until next time, we'll see you guys soon. And as always, take care.
Thanks. Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night.
Peace out, guys. Have a great night.
Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 sense for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back. Just wait and you'll see. Please excuse me, your honor, but you can't hold me no longer. Can't you feel the vibrations? I broke out and left traces. Go ahead, try catch me if you can, man. You'll be looking all night, I'm the Sandman. New York, London to Japan. I'ma show the whole world who I am. Boom, boom, major look, huh? Yeah, this one is for the books. All these chances I took still, I move straight on these rooks now. Hold me up or hold me down, have my back or hold my crown. Either you with me or not, but you better give all you got, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power. I got the keys. Cause I break the chains.